Okay, hey, what's up, you guys? So I thought I'd come on today. Um, by the mural that I was yesterday. Ganesh in the background. Um, so I was just recording a video on Egyptian magic where I was just sitting here, and just meditating. I felt called to meditate with Lord Thoth, goddess Isis, or Aset, Astarte, and then as well Horus. So I just made a video on that. My camera actually just happened to have enough footage to get the whole thing exactly, and then just like cut out. Um, and during this ritual, you could say, to the Egyptian pantheon, right? Because it started off with me calling forward Anubis, right? Anpu. And that's usually how I do my workings. Though as well, it was just 111 in chat. Those who are close to Anubis, right? Know that he is protecting you. Know that he is guiding you. He's empowering you. He's pushing you forward if you're, as well, if you're someone that is in the underworld or embracing cliffothic magic, underworld magic, working with different daemons, know that Anubis is an emissary that is with you, that is guiding you and progressing and pushing you forward. Anubis teaching or helping you to better understand magic, sorcery, dimensions, right? Going into different dimensions. Because before a lot of us can awaken, okay, before a lot of us can awaken these multidimensional aspects of ourselves, before we can remember them, bring them forward. As I said that, it was just 222 on chat or on the live, that it's good to have different guides guiding us and leading the way through our journey. So it's in this same way that at the beginning of my journey, Anubis was one of the spirits that was guiding me. He didn't just come to me and say, "Oh, I'm a." It was, or even the same thing with Thoth and working with the Egyptian pantheon. Usually, someone who is spiritually waking up and starting to understand magic in totality, the beings come to you, and you have to start to see the glitches in the matrix. You have to start to see these things that are being pointed out in your reality by the different deities, right? So in this way, it's good to have what's known as a psychopomp, or also what's known as just a guide through the underworld. Because, and if you guys have seen my other videos, anyone watching this now or at a later date, my videos are to describe and to define what the underworld is, helping people to better understand uh, the nature of the occult. So not just the underworld, but shamanically, all realms, right? Where the underworld is an aspect of this one that actually just so happens to govern it very highly. Whatever you might define it as, the underworld, the Cliffoth, um, the Hell realms, right? Different people, different as well, different cultures have different names for it. In I believe Norse, it's just called Hell, Hel. To the Greeks, it was Hades. That's also what's known as another aspect of hell as well. There's many different aspects. A lot of people, when it comes to the world, when it comes to the darker dimensions of life, aren't the best at navigating it. So this is why it's good to have a guide, whether it be a god or a deity like Anubis, or a goddess like Hecate, um, Astarte, also known as Isis. And this is why in Egypt they were so connected. This is why in Egypt, or they were so connected to the underworld, they were so connected to death, because death, as I said, that was 555, death is heavily interconnected with this reality. What do I mean by this? Look at the Egyptians. It's when you look at it from a modern mindset or perspective, the Egyptians wanted to die. They were waiting for death. But when you can understand it's not death itself they were waiting for, but they were preparing for the afterlife. They knew that there was something that, and as I said that, my friend actually just messaged me. They went on a spiritual journey last night. So, right as I was saying, preparing for death, right? Understanding the underworld. The underworld not being what's after here, right? Because for myself, or the afterlife not being only after this life, but as well in every moment. There's no separation between the all. And as you unify with death itself, you start to knock on death's door. And the more that you start to knock on death's door, you're understanding the mysteries of death. You start to understand the mysteries that lay beyond or past death, because death is but a veil of illusions. But it's in the same way that this veil is not a limitation, but it's to test you. In a sense, it's we can only become our true self by allowing the things that no longer serve us to fall away, to fade away. If we didn't have this mechanism, just like if we didn't have the same mechanism when we incarnate that removes our past lives, then we wouldn't gain the same wisdom, right? So that's why we start out the game not knowing our past lives, not knowing who we are, or who we were, so that we can go about that test and those trials to then regain, or rather uncover through the journey, who we are. Where at one moment we will meet that last trial, you could say death itself. And since we have integrated with death itself, some say that death is the last teacher. It's because it's the last experience in which one has before leaving this plane. That's also why people talk about, say, with Satanists also caring so much about death or their death day, because it's in that moment that you are going back to thy kingdom. You're going back to what you're creating. Hey, what's up, Marzaka? What's up, family? Um, and it's on that other side of this reality that it's what we created while we were here and what we left behind, that's what we are bringing to the other side. So if you're someone that is always imagining your reality, you're always using your magic to create, you're always creating, right? You are a creator, or also what's known as a sorcerer. A sorcerer. You're using source, you're bending source to your will so that you can create with that source. Sorcery. So it's about using your imagination, your magic, your sorcery to imagine and create a new life for yourself. Maybe you were birthed or born into a certain life or lifestyle, right? You you can look at who you are now is completely different than who you were. So it's in this same way that the you that you have envisioned now, that you became, you created yourself to be. Now, this version of yourself, when you think about it, if you created it, that means that it you first had to have the thought to think this being into existence, to think yourself into existence. So if you can think, if you thought yourself to who you are now, then it's in that same way that two things. Who you are imagining right now is creating the avatar, is creating the being. But as well, what you are imagining within your mind, how vast is the landscape of your mind? How vast is that imaginatory incubation chamber, right? How much can you imagine? How much can you think? How much can you ponder? How much can you see? Because it's everything that you see within your mind. Your mind is a fertile soil. Your mind is a fertile soil in which you are planting seeds, right? As I'm saying all this, the sun is actually coming out. Your mind is in which you are planting seeds. So you have to plant seeds of your highest potential. And as you plant those seeds, allow them to flourish, allow them to grow. Do not hinder your own growth or your own evolution. It's in the same way that we're planting the seeds within our mind to create this life, who we're becoming, but also we're planting the seeds of when we are done with this game. And the seeds are everything that you are doing right now is creating that future aspect of yourself. And if you start to do the right actions, if you start to do the right movements, then you're going to bring yourself into the most optimal outcomes. Hey, what's up, General Mosquito? What's up, family? My guy, I was just thinking about you. Oh, that's dope. How have you been, fam? Hey. Uh, so I'm just on live right now talking about it. I guess you could say Egyptian magic. I just filmed a video that I'll be releasing probably later today, where I did a full-on just Egyptian magic ceremony, where I'm not sure if like a lot of you guys know how traditional Egyptian magic is performed, but a lot of it has to do with hand movements, right? And it's completely different when I'm recording it, or I'm sorry, when I'm flowing with what's coming forward, because it's where you're using these movements of your hands, you're trying to flow with your daemon to create the right energetic outcome. And so a lot of hand movements and gestures um, ties into Egyptian magic because you're using or moving energies with your hands. Um, so I do have to go in a little bit, you guys, just a few minutes actually. But I just wanted to give at least an intro to Egyptian magic before I release the video and just talk a little bit on life, death, and as well resurrection. So I think I'm going to end it here, but with this: use your magic to become your greatest version. Do not play this game. Do not play this world the same as everyone around you. No. For you guys, I want everyone viewing this to become an occult master. That was also the intention I had in the Egyptian video that I'm also releasing. The Egyptian video encapsulated in it frequencies and vibrations. It was in a sense quantum magic or quantum reiki. Lately, I've just been getting a lot of downloads pertaining to Egyptian initiation. And I'd really like to, or as well, I'm bringing forward and I'm going to be teaching this a lot more on my channel. So I appreciate you, family. Hey, hey, thanks on that, Jerome Mosquito. Hey, have a good one, you guys. So peace. And then as well, for those, just really fast, for those that don't know, I am doing past life regressions. So this is something that I've done with a few people already, and I've noticed I'm able to help people to go into their past life and then as well navigate it and start to understand it and also piece it together. So I just wanted to throw that out. I'm also doing one-on-one consultation sessions. If anybody wants that, if you need help in the occult, right, understanding how to work with different spirits, if you want to understand consciousness to a better degree, manifestation, pretty much anything pertaining in those realms, even when it comes to Kundalini, as well the Kabbalistic tree, the tree of life and death, the Qliphoth, working with demonic kings or different spirits. And also we have the Patreon ritual that will be at the end of the month using as well these traditional Egyptian ways, where I am a fate and destiny reader. So I'm able to determine or shift people into the proper energetic outcome that is in most resonance and alignment with their soul through the highest source of their being. This is something that I've been doing for myself for, I think it's literally been over a year now. And honestly, I believe that this one, out of all of them, is probably going to be the best month. So that's the top tier on the Patreon, as well, that has a whole bunch of different knowledge and wisdom. I work with different, or I have worked with different deities throughout the years. And that's just where I share my more personal and in-depth gnosis on different deities on my path and things pertaining to that. So I might keep this up. I might just throw it on the Patreon. It just depends. really on the what is said. So have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day, you guys. Happy Monday.